How to beat your addictions using spiritual energy. So what is an addiction really? Well, addiction is when the brain is overstimulated or the pleasure circuits in the brain become way too stimulated. And so addiction plays with the brain chemical dopamine. How dopamine works is if you are stimulated way higher than your baseline, then your new baseline is going to go low. So let's say your baseline is here. Let's say your baseline is here and you take drugs, for example. Well, once you take the drug, your dopamine is going to go high up. But when the pleasure ends, it's going to go back down, not back at the baseline like it was originally, but below the baseline. And so since you're living at this low baseline now, you tend to come back to the thing that brings you back to this baseline. Only except once you hit this baseline again, you're going to go even lower. This is how addictions work. So how can spiritual energy fix this? Well, there are 7 important people that you need to meet. These people are, or rather entities are, the 7 deadly sins. These sins are entities that are like us. They want to grow and develop. And so to grow and develop, they have to take your energy. And how do they do that exactly? Well, they play around with your brain. See, the flesh is the limitation of the soul, or in this case, the weakness. So understanding that is the first step. It's extremely crucial for you to understand that it's not your own brain that you're fighting against. It's not your own body that you're fighting against. It's these 7 entities. If you don't know who the 7 deadly sins are, they are pride, they are lust, they are envy, wrath, sloth, gluttony, and greed. Each one has a different purpose, but they all have the same goal and they all have the same strategy. And so how do I win, Evo? Well, you got to separate your soul from your body. It sounds a lot harder than it actually is, but it's very simple. The key to this is awareness and visualization. Become aware of the sin present and then conceptualize it using visualization. Picture the sin in front of you like it has a physical form. And you won't be a master at this right away. It's like telling somebody who's never meditated before to clear their head. Like, you're not a monk. It doesn't work like that. So practice is key. And so once you visualize it, you have it in front of you, all you need to do is resist and or eradicate. It's much easier to deal with something that's in front of you instead of in your head. And so how do you eradicate it? Just like imagine you're cutting it in half or something, fucking beating the shit out of it. Doesn't matter. Just as long as the sin is defeated in this visualization. This will condition you to believe that winning is not hopeless. In fact, it's very easy to win as long as you're consistent and patient. However, there is another way. That is to just run away. Yes, flee, get the fuck out of there. There's no need to stay in the area and be in line of sight. Get out of there, close your eyes, look at something else. Do what you gotta do to flee. In all honesty, this is much easier, but it's only for short term because you can't keep running away forever. Eventually, you have to deal with this problem and eradicate it for good. So if you feel that you're very weak and vulnerable, first you need to flee. Flee for about a week and then try to deal with it and confront it. So it goes like this: flee, then awareness, visualization, and eradicate it. See, it's not that difficult. I have a course in which I teach people how to use spiritual energy to achieve anything they desire. And also, I can help with beating these addictions in the same course. Check it out, links in the description. I'm gonna be honest with you, I used to struggle with laziness. I used to not want to do much at all, but I've since worked on that. I've since won these battles with the sin of sloth. And so the more battles you win, the stronger you become, the easier it is to resist next time. And eventually, you won't even be affected by it. So by all means, persist. Most importantly, embrace infinity. Later.